Hey folks, welcome back to Apocalyptic Guitars, and today we're actually going to cut this steel rod right here. This will go in between these two pieces to stabilize it. Now, originally I thought maybe to do that and pour resin, but I thought, resin in post-apocalyptic, it doesn't really, because people in the wasteland, if there was ever an apocalypse, wouldn't have resin just laying around. I'm trying to build this guitar in a way that, material-wise, that people would have laying around in an apocalyptic setting, and resin's just not one of that. So I'm just going to stick with the steel rod, and we're going to cut that today with a Dremel. Now, the reason why I like using a Dremel is that I have complete control more with a multi-purpose tool than I do with like a cutting a metal cutting saw or whatever. I just prefer it myself. So it is a dark, rainy, gloomy day here, so the lighting probably isn't going to be that great, but we're going to press on, and let's do this, folks. Yes, safety glasses is number one key. That's how you need to start this. Alright folks, we got our Dremel and we're ready to go. I'm going to move this wood bag out of my way. And I'm going to move this out of my way too. Alright, here we go folks. There we go. And there we go, folks. A nice clean cut rod. Now, the only issue I have with these Dremel tools and the cutting discs is that they wear down way too fast. And they break very easily. But, again, I prefer it because, as you saw, I had complete control and it made a nice cut. So that's why I prefer these over a cutting saw or blade. So we're going to continue on here. So now we have 3 cut pieces of steel. Now, these are essentially going to go, let me put this over here like that. These are essentially going to go something in the nature of this. We want it to be stable. Like that. And this one, I kind of want this one to be at an angle. So we got to make sure we miss where the bridge is going to go. See right here, this is where the bridge is going to go. And we want this one at an angle like that. I think it'll look cool, rather than just going straight up and down like that. It'll give it a different look, I think, if it's at an angle like that. Again, we just got to make sure we're going to miss the bridge, that's all. And there we have it. We got the rough shape of the body, what we want. We went around it with the spindle sander at around 80 grit. And then, once everything's done, we'll go back over it with 120 and 240. And then we'll go back around it with the orbital sander at a 320 grit. Because if you do that, you could smoothen out the flat areas, and then you can round off more, with more control, you can round off the areas to make it a nice round edge. Now, I said perfection isn't warranted with this type of, or this style of build, but you do want your edges to be good. That's something you really need to take into consideration, because comfort, if it's not comfortable, it's not playable. It's got to be comfortable, and nice edges, nice round smooth edges really do make a difference, whether you're doing it as a apocalyptic guitar or a pristine guitar. It really doesn't matter. Just make it as good as you possibly can. So there we go. Now what we got to do is we got to figure out now where to drill the holes. Now we have centers here. We're gonna go center on each. You can get a rough idea of where the center is on each side. This and this, both. And you can measure, but it's probably going to be uneven. So say, this one here. Wow, it is dark in here. I'm going to try to do this. Yeah, it's way too dark in here. But I could see that this is 1.5 inches. 1.5 there. And 1.5 there. So it's not really that uneven. It's 1.5 inches. So you want to go about halfway there. Yeah. So we now know where our rods are going to be, and then we can drill holes, which we're going to do right now. So let's see what we got. Alright, so we found a drill bit that will suit what we need. And so what we want to do now is just drill it. Our center is right there, and we want to make sure we're where we want to be. And try to drill as straight as you possibly can. So we take masking tape. Just a little bit. And we find where we need to go. And tape it on. This in turn will actually blow the shavings off too. And there we go. So now this rod here should fit well into there. Just to make sure, what you want to do is, you could do any one of these, the shorter ones, but the longer one is for over here. So you can just make sure just by yep, and that's good. That's good. And as you can see, it's going to fit right in there like that. Now what we're going to do is, here, let me show you what we're going to do. This is, this lighting sucks. This is snug in there, like I can't move it. But we're also going to put some glue in there to solidify it, because we do want it solidified. But you really got to push it down there, and that's pretty good. But yeah, we're gonna move on now, and there we go. We're gonna have to hammer that in, but that's okay. So all in all, we got one side done. So we got one side done, and these are pretty damn snug in there. Again, we're going to use glue to solidify it and make it stable. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we're going to mark out on the other boards where the holes are going to be by putting some dye on the tips of these, and then marking out where they're going to be on that side. So yeah, I'm going to do that off camera, and then we'll come back and show you how it came out. Alright guys, so we fitted it, and this is essentially what it looks like. This lighting is balls. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, there we go. See? So now we're just gonna glue up the pieces, and then we're gonna put them back in, and we should be good. And this ain't going nowhere, folks. See? I'm just kind of it's snug in there, but we're gonna glue it for extra stability. So there we go. Now on the next episode, we're gonna go back around, and we're going to go around the edges with more sanding. We're actually gonna clean up the inside a little bit, just these edges around here, just these edges, and we should be all set and ready to go for the neck. The neck will be next. So stay tuned, folks. We're definitely kicking this off. So this is Post Apocalyptic Guitars. Have a good one.